welcome back to another episode of the Peer Pressure Portcast. We enjoyed the MSC Grandiosa.
Let's go, Grandy man.
Not too long ago, the beginning of January of this year. So we have some highlights that we're going to bring to you guys. We have a lot to share, only because this wasn't a Royal Caribbean. I've never been on MSC, so we learned a lot about the cruise line, about the Grandiosa, the ship that we enjoyed, and also a new port of call, the Ocean Cay private island, that is MSC's exclusive island. Boy, where do you want to start, buddy?
Well, let's just kind of talk about MSC and how it came from what it was to what it is. I think that's, you got to know where you came from.
Right.
So MSC, obviously, what a lot of people don't know, and I'll just ask you, Jesse, this is the first one of Stump the Captain.
Oh.
All right. So do you know what the acronym MSC stands for?
Yes. Mediterranean Shipping Company.
Perfect.
Right?
So yes, they were founded in the 1970s. They're an Italian-based company, so it's got a little bit of a European swag, right? It is a little bit different. I think that's the biggest thing, is the mentality when you get on the ship. So just right off the top, Mediterranean Shipping Company, that's what it stands for. You have a luxury brand also, which is called Explora Journeys. So again, if you're interested in that, we got you covered at Peer Pressure Portcast. Founded in 1970s and started cruising in 1988. So
okay.
A little bit of that, South Florida swag was being started even before we knew. And, it's a relatively large company. There's 23 ships.
Oh, wow.
And they have said by 2035, they might be the largest cruise line in the world, because right now there is 12 ships on order. They have vowed potentially 35 ships.
Wow.
By 2035.
So what does that mean? Is that a lot of ships?
Yeah, so right now, if you look in the cruise world, and again, Vacation Nation, you make up the cruise world, we make up the cruise world. Not only are we sailors, we're also clients and part of the Peer Pressure Portcast.
That's right.
But basically, right now, Carnival, Royal Caribbean has approximately 28, 29 cruise ships.
Okay.
But because they are relatively an older company,
right,
after 25, 30 years, those ships become non-existent. So with Royal Caribbean, you have the Discovery class, which they're not putting out much information on that. Obviously, we know right now Royal Caribbean has the largest cruise ship in the world with the Icon 1 and the Icon 2, the Star of the Seas, right here in the People's Port, a.k.a. Port Canaveral. But what MSC is doing is they're creating what's called a world class. So right now, the hottest thing right now at the MIA, Miami,
right.
Port of Miami, is the World America.
Okay.
And stay tuned, because coming to the People's Port at the end of 2027 is going to be the World Atlantica.
Yes.
So World Atlantic 2027. Again, they're doing big things. And, it just doesn't stop there. There's a world cruise.
Right.
So 2027, you have the Magnifica. That's 121 nights, 5 continents, 25 countries, 45 destinations, starting Jan 5. So it goes 4 or 5 months.
4 months, 122 nights.
Yes, absolutely
That's
amazing.
Crazy.
And just released 2028 World Cruise at a nice price tag, honestly, if you break it down day by day, $18.5K.
Wow. Okay.
So this one is 115 nights, 6 continents, 29 countries, and 42 destinations.
That's just remarkable.
It's
what an itinerary.
And I think that's what's making them the world champs. And
right.
As you can remember when we were on the ship, if you cruise out of Miami on a MSC cruise, it's about 50-50 Americans to non-Americans.
Okay.
However, when we're talking, we were just on when we were out of the People's Port, you're talking anywhere from that 60 to 90% of Americans. So it is a little bit different. But there was definitely a vast demographic difference throughout the whole ship, especially the music that they played. So again, it's just amazing. MSC is doing big things. They were voted the cruisecoach.com's 3 years running right now best valued cruise line, because you can get the Yacht Club at a decent price. Yacht Club is a ship within a ship. You can have suites for you and your family. Obviously, the balconies are amazing. But what they do better than anybody else, in our opinion, at Peer Pressure Forecast, you can get drinks and a Wi-Fi package, the dining, the specialty dining, you can add that in, and we can take care of all of it. So it's simply just a phone call away. The captain, Jesse, and the cruise coach, we've got you covered no matter which way you want to go. But, it's just so special what MSC is doing, not just with their private islands, so many things to come, which we'll talk about here in a few. And the Grandiosa, again, an amazing ship. 2019 is the theme of this episode, because that is when Ocean K was created.
Right.
And when the Grandiosa went on its maiden voyage.
Perfect. Something also unique, you're talking about all of this amount of, you're forecasting all these boats coming online, and it's only able to be happen because most cruise lines don't have that luxury. Right? Because they share a shipyard.
Correct. And that's what makes MSC so unique, because they have their own shipyard, because again, they started as a shipping company,
a cargo ship, right?
A cargo ship. And that was the thought, is that, they started with one cargo ship, went to 3 within the first couple of years. And then, it was that Italian mindset. Let's do things a little bit different. Many would say the best pizza at sea.
Oh, okay.
So, again, it's something you and I will talk about. I'm going to be honest with you. Royal Caribbean's Giovanni's might have something to say about that, but that's specialty dining. So you have the specialty dining, whether you pay for it with Royal Caribbean and Giovanni's, or it's included with the MSC. And that's really, that's one thing we did like, is the buffet is open for almost 20 hours. And it's not just a standard buffet. Yes, of course, you got your burgers, your hot dogs, but it's going to have all those delicatessens from all those different countries. And that's, I think, what sets MSC apart.
Yeah, 100%. I did notice that the buffet, not only is it like massive, I mean, I'm talking like a big portion of that deck.
Correct.
I mean, just after the pool deck, you go inside and it's just wall to wall, just, everything you could imagine: cold, fruit, hot, hot rotisserie,
trays being splattered everywhere. That's a whole subject for another day.
Yeah, no kidding.
The guy that didn't do it, right? But no, you're right. It's so many things. Yeah. That is what MSC does to set it apart, is the quality of food in the buffet.
Right.
I might say, hands down, is the best on the average cruise ships.
Yeah, I wasn't disappointed with the food, actually, and the service was pretty quick. There was plenty of tables always available. I mean, their staff is just running around, just bussing, so as soon as somebody gets up, somebody's there collecting everything, bussing it, wiping it off, ready for the next guy. So finding seating was never a challenge.
Correct.
You may have had to wait at one of the beverage dispensaries because unless you're getting outside drinks from a bar, the only thing that they're serving inside is canned soda. So not even like a fountain. The only thing on fountain was really what I found was like iced tea, coffee, water.
Now, we would know. Jesse, go ahead. Say it. It wasn't really iced tea in your opinion.
Oh, it was horrible. It was a mix.
It was powdered.
And most likely, the Grandiosa came from Italy just recently. We took probably like one of the first handful of actual cruises from Port Canaveral. So they still had a lot of leftover, I think, European menu items.
Yes.
They didn't have chocolate milk. They didn't have a couple of things that I asked for. The lemonade was much too tart. The iced tea was much too bland.
However, we did find some leftover Heffenweisen.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
that was a gem amongst gems.
Yeah.
Again, Jim Ziarno, John Colorado, if you're listening right now, you would be so impressed. I had my first real Francis Connor Heffenweisen, not Dunkel, true Heffenweisen, had to roll it at the end. It was perfecto.
So there was lots of carryover, and I think with this boat and the staff having just gotten to the States
a month prior,
right? So they're not used to American palate.
Correct.
I'm sure nobody taste tested that lemon mix. Nobody taste tested that iced tea mix. They probably just threw some ingredients and just hope for the best. Is what makes sense. Actually, that's the most logical thing. You know, I'm sure nobody was really. But they had a coffee bar, like espresso bar, in the buffet. A la carte. So you had to pay for those things. But it wasn't horrible. Everything. I think the staff. I mean, I think they overstaffed. I really think the ratio to passenger to staff was actually pretty quick. And I say staff, it's crew. Crew to passenger was amazing as far as ratios. I didn't want for nothing the whole time. I mean, there was always somebody there, even though there may have been a slight language barrier.
Right.
Because, again, this boat and the crew were stationed, or not stationed, that's more military, but they were local out of Europe for probably years. Yeah. So they're all multilingual. Just most of them didn't have English as one of the languages they spoke. But beyond the language barriers, everybody had a smile. Very, very thoughtful crew. And again, I didn't think we wanted for much at all the whole time.
No.
But let's talk about the ship in the ship thing, because I wasn't aware that such a thing existed. Certainly not on other cruise ships. So what does MSC have that other cruise ships don't?
So they have what's called the Yacht Club. That is the sweet life, is what we really talk about it. And that is, you're going to have your butler. You're going to have everything taken care of. Whatever you need, they're, a phone call away or a voice away. You're going to have your own special part of the ship. And, to be honest with you, a lot of clients dislike that idea. Mm-hmm. But again, it's just like anything else. It's you have your general public, and then you have that notch above. And I think that's what the Yacht Club does, is it separates you from the rest. But however, if you still want to go through and do things with the general public, you're able to do so as well. And again, with the Yacht Club, you also get the drinks package included. Right. They got a lot of cool things going on. And again, as you noticed, what part of the cruise ship was that Yacht Club found on is the upper part. So they had their own specialty sun deck. They had their own specialty pools. They had their, and again, you're going to pay a little bit extra. So just
let's be honest, a little bit more extra.
Yeah.
I looked at some of the price tabs. I mean, for the value that we were able to get versus what a 2-person occupant suite in the Yacht Club, I would say they're getting, such an elevated, and I don't know the ratio like butler to stateroom, but I guarantee it was probably less than 1 to 3.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, when I saw after the fact, we got off the boat and I was like, what is this Yacht Club? Went to some Grandiosa groups, went to some MSC groups, and sure enough, as I was searching, there is MSC Yacht Club groups where that clientele, they talk a different speak, and again, for that traveler who's just looking for that elevated experience without doing, Ritz-Carlton has, a yacht at sea now. There's also other, you're seeing some luxury brands. Yacht charters, of course, are probably like creme de la creme because it's only you and your family on a boat, where the ratio is probably 1 to 1.
Yeah.
But beyond the below deck, fantasy, there is a desire for some clientele to not just go to a yacht charter or even a Ritz-Carlton experience, but they still expect a little bit of elevation. And now the only thing for me, I like to go forward in a boat. I like to go on top and as forward as possible because I love to look over the bow. I like to look, have a look, adjacent to the bridge or just under the bridge deck or above the bridge deck and just have that forward view of just looking straight at the ocean. You really couldn't do that. Everything forward was Yacht Club. So, you have to have a wristband or so on to access some of these spots.
Yes.
And I didn't see a whole lot of security, but I also didn't try to break in. But from what I looked like, it was pretty much a
upper echelon.
Yeah, it was definitely a place with a more desirable real estate on the boat, which is for me forward and high. right?
Right.
So yacht club at sea, a ship within a ship.
Yep. And then the other side of it, you hit the nail on the head, right? We got a phenomenal price point.
I'm not going to even say.
It's
disgusting.
Can I say?
No. Why would you? I'm kidding. You're in the business. So
exactly.
Mind you, everybody who's listening, Cruise Coach has some deals, but also, when you're in the industry, you get some, pretty good deals. I must say.
And this was really cool because I called you the same day I reached out to our affiliate, Blake at Maluna Travel and the Maluna Travel Network, who we're with. A complete blast. And there's so many highlights from the ship. The shows were lights out.
Yeah.
That Michael Jackson show, phenomenal. I don't even know. I don't even know how to pronounce it. ABBA. You tell
ABBA.
me. Okay. And again,
Swedish disco.
Yeah. And we were front row for that.
Yeah.
And front row for MJ. And then we got to see the magician from afar, who was a magician and did a little bit of comedy as well. But 3 nights of shows, and that's honestly the first time I've done 3 nights of shows on a cruise ship, and I was satisfied from start to finish.
Yeah, 100%. The shows, and I'm a show kind of guy. Having worked on a cruise ship, I hung out with the artists, the band members, the DJs, because that's all my background. I love performing, even though I did massage on board. I hung out with all the artsy kind of, so the dancers and musicians, and they work so hard. And doing massage, I would even help some of the musicians who maybe like sprained an ankle or, because they're just, they you understand how hard these people work on board. Right. Every night's a new show. Every night they're just pressing themselves. And it's not just one show. It's sometimes 2 or 3, even up to 3 different shows every night, and they're performing, and I can't tell you what, they're sweating. They're doing the extremely fast costume changes. They're on and off the stage. We had these guys bouncing each other on their heads. I mean,
I forgot about that. Great.
Yeah, these acrobats, right? And this was like
next level.
And this is the general offering. There was a pay for Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, there's 2 shows.
Yeah, and that was in the Carousel Lounge. We never made it to those. I never felt the need to have to go see something else besides what the main theater was providing because it was so good.
And that's the other thing is when you book a cruise, not only are you getting the cruise, you're getting the entertainment, you're getting your family's safety, you're getting the food, and it goes on and on and on. Yeah. So, and again, price point, we're going back to that for a minute.
Yeah.
Taxes and fees, which obviously vary based on the port you're at. So we would just say taxes and fees plus about $20 a day. Yes. I can't live off $20 a day on land.
No, you can't.
So, when that came, when we got that deal, and this was a deal available to the public, not just a TA rate or a travel advisor rate. I reached out to you and I said, hey, we have an opportunity. Blake, Josie, you guys want to come on board?
Yeah.
Blake didn't even think twice. He had it booked, within minutes. And again, that Grandiosa just knocking it out of the box. And let me just go over a few facts. 2019, the Grandiosa was started, on its maiden voyage. 6,334 guests. So it was a relatively bigger ship. 181,000 gross tonnage.
Right.
It's the I always mess this up because again this is not my speak. The Meraviglia, I can't even say it.
Yeah.
Plus class ship. So you have that's kind of like the Oasis class, Meraviglia. Hopefully, I can't.
It's like Bougainvillea.
Sure,
whatever.
Sure. I mess things up, right? It's like tomato. I'm not going to get it right. That's the plus class, and then you have the world class, which is the one above. So it's like Oasis, and then Icon. So it's the second level down. And the one nice thing about the Grandiosa, it does 3 or 4 nights, and then it also does 7s. So you get the best of both worlds. Unlike Royal Caribbean, the Icon's only doing 7s. The Utopia, the world's biggest weekend, is only doing 3 or 4s. So you kind of get that different, cruise. Right. And again, that's what's also nice. And the other part is it does all the way up to 14 days. You can do, I think, 10 days on as well. So it's the itinerary is all over the place, but they do such a good job. And I could tell you, what's the one thing when we walked on that cruise ship, what's the one thing that our jaw hit the floor?
Oh, the LED panoramic sky. It's like
Digital sky.
Digital sky. They compare it to like Fremont Street in Las Vegas.
Perfect.
Because they actually do like shows with like video shows. Yeah. No, it was over the top. Really, really fun. You know, there are some other boats with like, you know, bigger, spacious interiors and so forth, like Utopia, where it's like indoor, outdoor. But this was enclosed, and you had all the shops, the elevated dining, all right there. It felt like a little, you know, city street, you know, in a popular place to go shopping, and yeah, the LED. I mean, they would turn that on, add the music to it.
Wow,
it was a show.
All right, stump the captain number 2.
Okay. Oh,
how many feet was that digital sky?
250.
One football field, 305 feet, so about 100 yards.
Okay.
So, you know, again,
it was long.
It was long,
yeah.
You know, and again, it's not just a digital sky. You have 12 dining venues. You have a Lego Kids Club, so it's next world. It's not just for adults.
Right.
A bowling alley, a F1 simulator, a sports complex that
full basketball court, not like topside where it's taken away from your wave rider or other amenities on top.
Right.
This was like
enclosed,
midship enclosed.
Wow.
But with like full glass windows, so you had big views to the ocean or wherever your destination was. Right. But it's indoor basketball court. They put out the soccer goalies, and they were playing soccer at 1 minute. The next time I went by, they were playing basketball. There's certainly some crew that also assist and helping with a pickup game, so no one's ever like, you know, playing by themselves. I mean, it was really well done. Bowling, the little bowling alley, a couple lanes of bowling were available.
Extra charge.
Yeah, I mean, everything was kind of a la carte.
Yeah,
you know,
F1 simulator, which I think they were having technical difficulties. But again, I mean, 6,300 passengers.
Right.
You have 2,400 cabins. Again, I thought for the quality of ship, again, the reason why MSC continues to be the best valued cruise line with thecruisecoach.com. I mean,
yeah, there was tons of value. The food, you know, Royal Caribbean. I mean, are there other competitors like Norwegian's known for food, Celebrity's known for food? I wouldn't say it's the foodie, you know, boat.
Yeah. Get specialty dining if you're a foodie.
Yeah, if you're a food, I mean, especially when you can get on at such a low base price.
Correct.
It's real easy to add an excursion. It's really easy to get that a la carte experience of, you know, some of these elevated games and other experiences on board. Get that excursion on shore, right?
Yeah.
And also treat yourself to an elevated dining experience, you know, maybe just one night.
Yeah.
And it's not that horrible of an upcharge.
No.
And it's, you know, sushi. It's a French bistro. It's a steakhouse. You know, great options for that elevated experience. Man, I was walking by some of those tables where people, you know, left a couple bites. I mean, perfectly cooked steaks. I mean, I was like, I don't eat off people's plates, people. But boy, was I tempted. I mean, I looked at some, I was like, are you kidding me? I mean, beautiful cut steaks. You could tell it was like so tender. I could recognize a good cooked steak. And I mean, these were beautiful cuts of meat. I was really jealous of some of the people, you know, and just cutting into like these nice thick fillets and stuff. And I was like, oh man, next time I'm not going to miss out.
Yeah.
Get that elevated dining. And if you're yacht club, you know, you have your own yacht club dining.
Yeah.
Where you know you're just going to be impressed. Every meal is going to be an impressive thing. There's no more charges. Once you're in the yacht club status, everything's included. All your liquor and fine elevated dining and all the experiences that only the yacht club is provided. So that's more about the boat, the brand, the history of MSC.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cruise Coach. We definitely learned a lot.
Appreciate you.
I want to
little vibe show.
Should we go for the slideshow?
Little vibe show.
I'm gonna have to add like some little intro music. Oh, and there goes my picture. So let's go to the slideshow.
All right, let's see what we got. So speaking of food, right now, this is one of the venues on the island. This is the Beach Shack. You know, it had your typical burgers. It had brownies. The pasta salad was lights out. I'd give that 9.5 out of 10. And again, that is included as well on Ocean Cay.
Yeah. So, looking at some of that, I really want to get to what Ocean K is.
There you go.
And so forth. But first, let's start with the experience all the way from somebody driving on 528. You're going to head east on 528, and this is some of the best, reminders of where you're going. You see the destination, you see the terminals, you see the boats in the port, and
you were even blown away with the newness of the terminal,
bro. I had not been, except for like the newest terminal, like Terminal 3, but 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more to come.
World's largest port. Sorry, Miami. It's in our own backyard.
Sorry.
It's in the 321. Sorry, MIA.
Sorry, not sorry. Okay, so this is Ocean K. I want to get to first, and I was supposed to get these organized. Bear with me.
That's all right. Hey, we're busy humans, just like the rest of us.
Yeah, I know, right? So here is the so travel sign. We saw that. So yeah, we'll just start from the top up here. Ocean K. So one of the hacks I guess we learned was get off the boat early.
Yep, get off the ship as soon as they'll let you off the ship, because there's very limited free chairs.
There's actually very little chairs that are attainable.
Again, they're gonna. I think because the base price is so worth it, they're gonna try to nickel and dime you in places. But do you even consider it nickel and dime? I mean, we got on the ship for a nickel or a dime.
No kidding. So for me, go to the bar. Bar stools are free.
Yeah, fair. That's a great idea.
Bring your provided towel, your pool towel, and just put it on the sand.
And so right there, you see that down on the right hand side there. Yeah. That was one of the free seats, right? So you find that you got a little bit of shade. Again, I think we were able to find a couple in the shade. Which, stay tuned, Vacation Nation. You're going to see a little podcast from Ocean K.
Yes, we do have a nice little drop. And we're going to make this a regular thing when we are able to cruise together. We're definitely going to be doing these little special anecdotal type shows, which are just, recorded live, limited amount of editing. We just want you guys to just
experience it.
Yeah, enjoy the sights, the sounds, the people making faces behind us, and everything else in between. Because honestly, this is going to give you the best rundown of what each port of call that we go to has to offer. Yeah, and it's just going to be a brief thing. I think we did like just under 30 minutes of an impromptu little show right there on Ocean K. And you'll see again the sights and the sounds. We're wearing lapel mics. Like it was really just a very crude type video, but we felt we had to do it. The images are beautiful. Look out for that.
Yes.
All right.
Stay tuned.
So here, of course, is the before picture before the masses left the boat. I think we were allowed. We finished an early breakfast, and I think we were off
within the first hour.
Yeah. I would say like before 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I would say about 9:30. Yeah. And that's the nice thing about breakfast and the European mindset is if you want to go ahead and take 2 hours of breakfast, then take 2 hours of breakfast. You're not going to be pushed along like you will be on the typical American style ships. So that's one thing with MSC is it's your time.
Yeah.
So this is Ocean K, like you said, just again, some really cool pictures throughout the whole island. And what's really nice is you can't get lost on the island. There's one sidewalk that goes all the way around, and it kind of puts you right in the best views. And again, this is a man-made island, right? So again, if you know, Vacation Nation, what Ocean K started as, we're not going to tell you. Go ahead and put it down in the comments.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Next up is, I believe, another Grandiosa view. This one with the lighthouse.
Yes, and that that's something we didn't see when we first got off the ship. I had to beg and plead and say, "Hey Jesse, let's go check out the lighthouse," because a lot of people don't know about the lighthouse. If you have a 4-night, a lot of times you'll stay overnight attached to the island. And here's another hack from Peer Pressure Portcast. If you get a balcony, make sure it's on the starboard side.
Yes, hack number one of the episode. Starboard rooms for Nassau and for Ocean Cay.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yep.
So here is another. I mean, that's not stock. That's your photo, right?
That is our photo.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is, do you know how many decks the Grandiosa is? 19 decks.
That's right. I keep getting
One
that wrong.
more deck than the Utopia of the Seas. So it's a little bit smaller of a ship, but based on the gross tonnage, it has one more deck, and again, it's just a totally different vibe. There's apples. Some people love apples and the sweetness of apples, and some people love grapes. I would probably say not sour grapes, but I would say grapes. And that's what this MSC is to us.
Now, if you look just above the bow, you'll see, I believe those are staterooms.
Yes.
Right? Just underneath the bridge. The bridge is the very long piece of that deck that goes all the way to the very exteriors. That way the captain can see behind the boat as well when docking. So it has an extended bridge, but above the bridge, so it looks like suites below the bridge, and above the bridge, that's where the dining and other yacht club amenities are. And it's a beautiful dining room.
Again, the ship within the ship.
Yeah.
In the lighthouse, we had live music at the lighthouse.
Yeah.
Stunning views from the lighthouse. Again, if you happen to stay overnight or you stay late in the night, there's a lighthouse light show.
Yes.
Again, unlike any other private island, MSC continues to get better, trying to be the largest cruise line in the world.
Yeah. Another beautiful view.
And that's a really cool view right there. We won't say I spy Jesse in the middle of the photo. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. But that's a really, really cool view. We had to walk almost to the edge of the island right there to get it. And that's hands down one of my favorite views of the island.
Yeah. I mean, you can't beat it. So let's talk about some of the shopping. There are some amenities on the island, and things are going to get better, guys. It's very new. I will say that. All of the foliage, meaning every tree, bush, shrub, probably even the grass, was imported.
Correct.
They have put in some infrastructure. I saw a water maker and also a sewage treatment center, so to speak, because they do have staff that live on that island full time.
Yes.
So they have accommodations, and which I think is pretty cool because it's going to take a lot of maintenance, right? And you can't expect crew from the ship to then also have a secondary job on the island. Now, there are some cruise lines who still do that to this day,
right?
But for the most part, a lot of these private islands have a full-time staff that remains on the island.
Right.
Okay, so talking about, there's a couple of boutiques to shop. These are sundries. These are the shops where you're going to get a MSC shirt, visor, hat, maybe sand in a bottle, and maybe the towel or sunscreen that you forgot on board, right?
Right.
So but the accommodations are there, and they're just getting better. So lots to look out from there.
And again, if you look at Royal Caribbean,
Yeah.
and their private island, Coco Cay, that didn't happen overnight,
No.
And the one thing that you're seeing with this is, again, 2019 Ocean Cay was created. 2019 the Grandiosa did its maiden voyage. So, ultimately there's so much that happens on Ocean Cay, and now we're going.
Yeah. So just to close up the beach shack that we went over before. These are the included.
Complimentary.
Yeah, complimentary. Right. So it's a limited menu, guys. You're not going to get the top notch type elevated dining on the island yet. For now, they do have a lot of these with food truck inspired type little.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah.
So, and again, they put out the limited amount of menu just so it's easier on the staff. And it's, again, not a big space. It's not a huge dining room.
Right.
They're trying to get through thousands of people, to again, accommodate for them so they don't go hungry while on the island.
And you can either eat here with the beach shack, you can eat at the pavilion. And again, when we talk about more things to come, there's going to be 7 dining venues on this island.
So now, one of the fun experiences is some of the themed nights, right? So it was our first night that they had the white party, or second night.
Second night was the white party.
And they invite everybody after the show. so from dinner on, so dinner, theater, after theater, they remind you, hey, party on the top deck. So, you're in your whites pretty much all throughout, dinner and the show, all the way to the top deck party. It is a guided party, I want to say, they kind of keep everything, included.
Yeah.
So it's very family friendly. It's live music, and it's kind of like the, how do you say, I don't want to say an orchestrated, but it's like, they do the,
Macarena,
choreographed dances.
Yeah. All the ones you would normally do at a wedding, right. I guess.
No, it is like a big wedding. I mean, kind of like electric slide and some of the other thing,
and that's not my style of dancing. If I'm gonna go, no disrespect, I got a little hip hop in me. Right. I want to dance how I want to dance. I don't need to be guided.
Right.
But we understand why they do it, because it does appeal to the average family.
It includes everybody.
Yes.
So you're not hanging out going, I don't know how to dance to this, or
Right.
this isn't my type of music.
Yeah.
It's live performance of lots of popular covers and lots of instruction. Okay, everybody, put your hands in the air. Okay,
Right.
now to the left. So it's one of those kind of experiences. Again, for me, I know how to dance on my own. I want the light show. I want the loud, music. And it's okay if it's not live, if it's recorded music with a DJ.
Yeah.
I'm totally content with that. But again, for this style of cruise,
Yeah.
which again. Oh man, you got me saying again over and over. So what I found is Cruise Coach there wasn't a rowdy side
Right.
of the cruise.
Yeah, and I think that,
and it wasn't
yeah.
like a laid back. So it wasn't like totally like Norwegian or something, or celebrity like Sleepy or even Princess.
More mature. Let's call it the way it is.
Well,
right?
mature. Yeah. Well, there's
ambiance.
different. Yeah. So I'm trying to say it without offending anybody.
Right.
But this was hey, everybody's included.
Right.
Hey, everybody's on the same level. Yeah. There was no rowdy drinkers.
Right. There wasn't like the world's biggest weekend, people falling all over the place.
Right.
It was actually, the crowd was amazing. And I enjoyed it from top to bottom.
Yeah. The things that they have available for the kids and the teenagers was abundant.
Yeah.
And also for that, that maybe partier type, I didn't find, like
a sloppy person.
Yeah, there was nobody crashing in the hallways, nobody throwing up in the public areas. It was very tame, very family friendly, but it's still young.
Yeah.
So again, it wasn't like crying infants all the time, and it wasn't a lot of seniors. It was mature families.
Right.
We saw
from all over the world.
Yeah, and we saw a couple bachelorette parties. Okay, so there's more of Coco Cay.
Yep.
And I think we're going to jump back into Coco Cay. But before we do, I want to take us on a tour of a video I found online. And it's going to kind of go through the beginning of what Ocean Cay is. So we'll come back to the slideshow here at Cruise Coach. Let's indulge our audience with this real quick video.
Great education.
Yeah.
My dream was not only to transform an island or create a destination, but was to actually have an impact that was environmentally correct.
Previous tenants weren't exactly kind to the environment.
It just metal all over the place.
We gotta get all out. Probably the toughest project that I've ever had to do.
The job was to change the desert island to a green island.
There is a global problem facing reefs. There are reefs here. They're clearly in decline and suffering pretty severely. Let's try and do something about it. What we're doing here is we're seeing if we can regenerate it.
Our primary mission is to restore the natural underwater seascape of Ocean Cay.
What resources to protect, how to protect it, where to protect it.
We've been pushing this for about 5 years now, so it's really exciting to make it happen.
The things that we're looking to do will help us to build a brighter and better future for the environment around Ocean Cay.
We want to make sure that this is super safe and ready for our guests. This beach has to be exceptionally safe and exceptionally beautiful.
It's a no plastic island.
Ship is here! What a beauty!
It's just a spectacular place. Totally phenomenal.
It's been a roller coaster ride.
This is something that has never been done before.
Everything that we did revolved around the environment. Everything was thought of to make sure that we could protect the oceans.
Again, we're talking 65 miles southeast of Miami.
Yeah.
So again, its own unique location, not really like you would find Nassau and some of the other Bahamas.
Right.
It's just right off the coast of Miami. And
Very close. In fact, it's like 16 nautical miles south of Bimini.
Right.
So if that's any kind of reference.
Okay.
And I didn't know it was part of the Bahamian chain or the Bahamian nation, Bahamian. They
tomatoes.
Yeah.
No disrespect.
No disrespect. So because it was essentially a sandbar.
Right.
That they built up and they manicured, and now they have it, thriving with, again, all kinds of infrastructure. When we were there, they had piped music throughout the island. They had both pedestrian walkways as well as golf cart roads or golf cart ways. Tramways.
Yeah.
Right. So it was like, so you got to watch out because there's a lot of amenities, and they're bringing passengers on, and the yacht club members, they get escorted by golf carts, and so you got to make sure when you're walking to always be mindful, especially when there's bridges, because then both of the walkway and the golf carts kind of merge. So you just have to be aware. But again, they're not going that fast. It's pretty easy to avoid a golf cart. A lot of times they'll give you a notice, and I never saw anybody get close to a collision. Like, I mean, it really is well planned out, and the infrastructure, like I said, with all of the golf cart paved roads and the pedways, for pedestrians, you get to everywhere without having to, step on sand. You could wear your slaps and your flip flops and whatever other sandals, throughout the island without even stepping on sand, and you get around. So it's not like it's hard to navigate on the island. Everything's easy to get to, and if you go any further without an amenity like a restroom, a shower, or cabana, you're doing it wrong. Because I mean, I feel like there's all kinds of places to spread out.
Now,
plenty big.
Probably the one opportunity of growth that they can have at Ocean Cay is maybe missing a pool.
Yeah, pool, or maybe like a shuffleboard, a volleyball, I don't know, cornhole.
But I would
horseshoes.
Say stay tuned.
Yeah, definitely stay tuned. There's more coming. And while we were there was another adjacent piece of land under construction. So I think that's going to be even something else that's probably going to be a bit, a la carte, maybe a little elevated experience.
Maybe an adults only.
Right. Could it be adults only?
Little Paradise Sands, potentially.
Or maybe a yacht club included experience. So what we did see was people on jet skis, people on stand-up paddle boards, people snorkeling, people swimming, people sunbathing, all the beach things you could do.
People drinking.
Lots of drinking. Yeah, the bars were crowded. I mean, it was enough to where everybody could do what they wanted without feeling like they were in a big line or a big rush or feeling like they're away from everybody or that everybody was too close to them. So it was very comfortable. Right. I found it it was a very relaxing atmosphere.
Yeah.
And because MSC owns it, there was no other like cruise ships, you had to share with people at the port at the same time, and some people are in more of a hurry, or maybe there's lines at the popular excursions. Everything seemed to be adequately staffed and available, and I really enjoyed it.
And again, stay tuned, because right now there's only one ship that can be there each day. They're going to go to 2 ships. As soon as we got off the ship, Seekers Cove is something that's going to be a family beach area.
Yeah.
There's going to be more cabanas, and the list goes on and on and on. Right. And again, growth will happen.
Yeah.
And again, I think MSC is just doing big things, 35 cruise ships by 2035, Ocean Cay. They just bought an area of billions and billions being put into Freeport.
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned. MSC is doing big things.
On the rise. And there's another fun little picture. We love Ocean K.
Yeah.
Fun. I mean, it can only get better.
That's it.
Because there's so much possibility.
Yeah.
It does sometimes feel like it was a rock quarry. I won't say artificial sand, but you could tell maybe it wasn't like shore sand. There was very little shells, lot more, smaller rocks, which probably were broken up boulders maybe. Right. But that'll all come. That all the normal appeal of what a private island should look like is going to be happening. I don't know if they're going to be importing any other sand or anything else, but I tell you what, as more and more people tread on the sand, break down the larger pieces of rock, I'm not sure if it's going to grow shells. Shells don't normally happen like that, but you tell it was a marine sanctuary first.
Right. They
improved it. They built it up. They've created all kinds of like little coves, and we're going to see a map here soon. More of that lighthouse. I mean, you got some good shots.
Yeah. Again, perspective is the key. Yeah. That's a really, really cool shot.
Yeah.
I specifically, when I told you, I said, hey, I want to go check it out. I wanted that shot. I reproduced that shot again. The power of influence. Someone took that shot, and I said, hey, Jesse, I know we've already walked 27 miles in 3 days, but let's do a 28th mile and walk down that way.
I didn't mind. It was. We didn't edit this photo at all.
No.
The sky was as turquoise as the water as blue and dark blue as the sky. I mean,
TLT blue, baby.
It was so. Oh man.
And that's so much of it is taking it all in. That's a perfect view of the whole island. You have wherever you want to go. Obviously, once you get off the ship, they'll direct you. You'll go into. You're going to have that main that big tower.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be that eye catcher. You're going to have the shops you're going to walk through, and then you just go around the island. What were some of the you've got a better view of it than I do right there. What were some of the beaches? South Beach was one of them.
Yeah, so if you look, there is Seekers, the family cove.
Stay tuned.
Yep. You have Bimini Beach.
Okay.
Which just looks, I believe, there's a compass. It looks to the northeast, more north. Bimini Beach. I mean, so you're just looking at vast amounts of blue water.
Right.
And then you have looks like the Ocean K Lagoon, which is really, really big. That's, I feel like, where most of the people were enjoying the swimming and a lot of the action.
And you might be able to walk across it. I know that was something I kind of dared you. I said, hey,
right.
Do you think you can walk across it? I know you can swim across it.
You could definitely swim across. There were some platforms in the middle of the lagoon that a lot of the kids were jumping off of, so they clearly swam that platform, climbed on a platform, and were jumping off over and over again. Surfing beach. So there is a kayak and stand-up paddleboarding area where you could launch those amenities. And let's see, we have Paradise Sands. We have Sunset Beach, a nice long beach, again open to just the water, and that just pretty much looks due west. And just again long beaches with huge views of crystal clear water. Lighthouse Bay, of course, right between the lighthouse and the cruise ship.
Yeah.
Awesome. And again, these are, you can find beaches right off the cruise ship. You don't have to go too far. You don't have to be one of these people like us who have to explore and go to the whole thing. By the way, we did have a really cool Insta360 tour of the island. Look out for that as well. That's going to be coming up here soon, guys.
Another just wait.
I mean, I can't tell you how many things we did that day. So here is Seekers. Again, this is a short little lagoon, lots of sand.
Yeah.
This is where you did find a
few beach chairs,
a ping pong table or two, and some chairs that, again, were first come, first served. But people just put down their towel. Lifeguards are abundant as well, and they are prepared to keep you safe. Again, here's an example of a bridge that connects two of the adjacent, I don't want to say islands. I guess they're their own individual island, but just a small, little pass of water going through them. It's not a big bridge. It's not a far distance to traverse from one to the other. As you can see, if you hopped on the rocks, you could just swim from one to the other. But they do have nets to keep the bigger wildlife out.
Right.
Again.
And that's the view. So that's the exact opposite. That's a 180-degree view.
Right.
From you were just looking out into the ocean. Now you're looking into the island cove.
Perfect. So as we get down here more, man, we took so many good photos. This is just another looking back behind us towards the
and there's
cruise ship.
trams too. So if you are a limited mobility, client, they have you covered. So if walking is an issue, all it takes is just find that handicapped section, find that area, and again, the island suited everybody.
Yeah, these pavilions, as you could kind of look, you see that white structure, and I don't know if I could center it, but it's in the center of the screen now. That white pavilion is where people wait. You just wait there, and the trams will come by and grab you.
Yeah.
Yacht Club passengers don't really have to wait. They have their own exclusive golf carts waiting with their, So again, just a little bit more elevated. You get a lot for your money as a yacht club. I will say that. I found there's lots of value. Again, the cabanas are a la carte. There's an example of a cabana. The foliage, the palm trees, not a whole lot came on. Again, it was a sandbar. We watched the video. It was mostly just a sandbar. Everything has been imported, including these coconut palms.
Yeah.
There's plumbing throughout to make sure that everything, all the new foliage gets plenty of hydration. Let's see. Again, the cart paths.
There's the cart
pedestrian
paths right there.
Yeah. Sometimes they merge, so you have to share the pathway. But
pay attention to signs.
But to pay attention. Don't wear your headphones or anything else, to inhibit your hearing, and you'll be fine.
It's absolutely amazing.
Oh,
back to the ship.
Got some audio for this one. Yeah, Latin inspired. I found the music was good for a party. Decent lighting. Everybody hanging out. Everybody having a good time. All ages.
All included. Yeah. I think that all inclusive, right? So, I mean, it didn't matter how 8 years of age all the way to 88.
Oh, yeah. Now, here's a view as you're coming into the port.
The wow factor.
Yeah, the wow factor. So,
and that's the brand new terminal we alluded to earlier. It's jaw-dropping.
Yeah.
The People's Port, largest port, cruise port in the world.
That's right. So I think we're just going to close it out with just some other pictures of the interior. These are some movies that we were able to get. Thank you, Cruise Coach, for all of these.
Of course, and that's the chocolate factory. That's
an animated clock.
They had chocolate bars in the shape of the ship.
Oh yeah, so cool.
Wow.
Latin salsa merengue type club, live music. People enjoying themselves. Get your mojito. Sit on down. Let's see. What else did you grab? Oh, yeah. So this is the ABBA. Again, costumes were on time. The vocals were on time. The dancing was something that you expect as a bigger production on land.
And like I said, I've never listened to this, this group band, whatever they are from back in the day. But these two girls knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. The vocals, again, were insane. Live music.
The dancers.
Everything was a premium,
And I think here's the other part. We talked about it when off camera is you have the idea of what happened. Do you remember what happened after the Michael Jackson show?
Yes. There was a little worship.
Brandon Lake.
Yeah.
So not many cruise ships would play it, but there was actually Christian music being played, and it was really cool. Our group with the Maluna Travel Network and Peer Pressure Podcast and a whole nother group of about 20, we were going back and forth and just worship, praise. Brandon Lake, amazing.
Yeah.
Again, giving credit to the one who needs to have all the credit.
Yeah, so let's listen to this.
Lights Out. Probably the most famous song. This was the one I did know.
Right. Everybody knows that one. All right. And then we had more.
So outside right there, the Sunshine Party. So that was night one. You just saw the white party, which was night 2. So they did a really, really good job using the pool deck, deck 15.
Right. All right.
Visually appealing, and that's probably what the staircase is, right? Something we alluded to. I never say it right. Swarovski's?
Yeah, Swarovski crystal staircase.
Yeah. Our jaw hit the floor. Again, that's what makes this cruise ship different. There you see the digital sky right there, 305 feet of it. And what's nice is this is very similar to the promenade on the Icon class. It's going to be, this is what's called the Galleria. And you have that on deck 5, and then you have the eateries, specialty dining on deck 6 right above it.
And we're getting to the last couple of
slides.
Or slides, yeah.
There's your shopping right there.
Yeah, plenty of shopping. Of course, on the last day is all the deals. So wait to shop till the last day. Everything's reduced.
Yep.
Yeah, some really good bargains. And another beautiful view of that bow. This is where we're in Nassau.
Yeah. Actually, this was the first day when we got on the ship.
Oh, this is Port Canaveral?
This is Port Canaveral, the People's Port.
You sure? Okay, maybe I don't recognize the terminals in the background. Because
Yeah,
I know we came bow first into Nassau as well.
Yes, we were lucky to get slip 1.
Yeah.
And I think that's what allows us to really be super, super close to that port right there and do the world famous straw market.
One more of the chocolatier. You would walk in and there would be somebody handing out like free samples. They had the macaroons. They had the truffles. They had chocolate on a stick. Everything was chocolate covered. You want the espressos. You want chocolate covered almonds. Like everything you could imagine. What a cool place.
We may have sampled the samples.
Oh, heavily. and as you mentioned here, I'll pull this picture a little bit more.
There they
zoom
are.
in. Here's the in the center of the screen is those Grandiosa chocolate boats, the chocolate ship in a box.
Chocolate ship. That's
chocolate
not
ship
chocolate
in a box.
chip. Chocolate ship. I love it. I love it. And it was always, the chocolate was always flowing. Speaking of flowing,
yes.
How about
we had a great cruise director, English bloke. He
phenomenal.
Yeah, he introduced all the shows. He, and it wasn't like one of these cruise directors that was everywhere all the time on the loudspeaker, reminding you to all these things. It was actually, the whole experience seemed pretty go as you will. There wasn't a whole lot of force like meet us here for trivia, meet us here for karaoke. Now here, it wasn't one of those things like there wasn't like somebody on the loudspeaker all the time telling you what to do. You found it. There was plenty of ways to find, the itinerary, the MSC app. Yeah. If I was to grade an app about a cruise ship, I would give it probably a B minus. There was a couple things that it definitely could use more of.
It's tough when you're checking in as well, the MSC for Me app.
But so there was a couple things which leaves it to, a lot to be desired, but then for just what to do today. I mean, the whole itinerary was on the app. All you had to do was, log on. The app did work with the standard onboard internet, so you didn't have to get an internet package to use the app. Beyond that,
and the internet we had an interior room, so that it was kind of touch and go. But it's just like anything else. There's some growth that needs to happen, but overall, value for value, we would probably say this cruise 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Food in the main dining room 6 out of 10.
6.5. I had definitely some 8 and 9s. As far as meal, yeah. I mean, those were about 7.5. As far as desserts go, the cheesecake was really delicious.
Agreed.
The tiramisu that I had was very nice. There was a couple other surprises in there. But I was delighted with the main courses and the offerings for appetizer. The menu changed all the time. You get multiple appetizers.
You get multiple desserts.
However,
if you can only get one entree.
If it was elevated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, you could also get a linguine dish to share.
Yeah.
We did that the first night.
Yep.
And
then
bolognese. And then if you want to go ahead and do a second entree, it's only $5 more. So it's realistic. and no lobster or anything on the 3-night. Now, again, what makes this special is it's your typical 3-night for most cruise lines are Friday to Monday. Ours happened to be a Thursday to Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like that Thursday to Sunday.
Yeah.
You're not getting into port at Monday morning trying to race to work. We've done that before, and it's feasible because we're local here at Port Canaveral. But for some other people, trying to get that late Sunday night, connecting flight out of MCO, for instance, probably a little bit easier than a Monday morning.
Right.
Anyway, just to mention that because people are traveling into town from there.
And something else to mention, what makes MSC different, and again, we can go on and on and on. You're going to see so much about MSC, is the experiences. We got what's called the Bella experience that basically just gets you on a ship. You can't make any changes. That's kind of the old guarantee style room. Now, luckily, we got the Bella experience. It was the most cost effective of all the experiences.
Right.
However, we ended up getting a room on deck 13, which was a level above those who paid more per se. Because, again, it goes up every 2 decks. It goes up in price. Then you have the Fantastica experience, which is your normal. You choose the room. You get to make one room change. Right. You get this and that. Again, that's your average cruise experience. And then something that they do is the Aurea experience. And that gives you the thermal spa. That gives you that next level. And then obviously from there you can go ahead and the rooms are going to be your typical interiors, which are roomy, ocean views, balconies. Now again, most ships, the difference is there's not a lot of connecting interiors or ocean views. So you will, if you do want a connecting room, adjoining room, you will have to start off with the balcony. Then you have your suites. And then you have the creme de la creme, top of the cruise ship, literally the yacht club.
Yeah. And I would say, save up, do the yacht club experience. If you're
try it once,
if you're used to that elevated experience, what I've heard is once you go to yacht club, you can never go back. So be careful. But if you are somebody who is a frequent cruiser and money is less of an issue, and the value of the experience is outweighs any kind of monetary cost, then certainly splurge, get that experience. I would say that makes MSC definitely a little bit more unique. Some other things, I did enjoy the Horizon pool. It's an adult only pool at the stern or
the
aft ship. Yeah. So you go all the way to the back, and again, really nice. They have these like stadium style platforms with plenty of loungers to sunbathe on, and you're at the stern, right? Very, very quiet. Nothing behind you but prop wash and lots of ocean. The bar called the Attic, I believe. We didn't make it to there, but there is a after hours club or bar called the Attic. Well, next time I'll make a visit there. They didn't do the carousel, didn't do a couple things. It's really hard to do everything in 3 days.
It really
but
is.
I would say everything that we did do, I would definitely say, lots of value, plenty of space, never felt crowded any space.
5 pools, 9 whirlpools, and that's probably another misunderstanding with MSC is the whirlpools. They're not hot tubs, so they're not going to be your 100 and above 104 to 110 degrees. It's a true whirlpool,
just jets.
Yeah, just jets. So again, the biggest talked about thing in the industry is should kids be allowed in the whirlpools and in the hot tubs? Again, everyone has a different value of worth. Everyone has a different value of family time.
Right.
Again, just like anything else, is just make sure you're being respectful to all those around you. You're not too loud. I know a kid walked over you, dripped a little bit while you were sunbathing. And you were getting your tan on. Again, not my world, but again, I think he was just from another country, didn't understand some things, but that's okay. Is we still treated him with respect, and overall, you were able to get that.
I got some sun. Yeah, no, I was able to enjoy a lounger by the pool.
I'm a shade kind of guy.
It was.
I'm Slim Shady.
But it was desirable for a lot of other things, as far as, again, the Bella experience, getting on there, budget friendly,
value through the roof.
You still got to get off at Nassau, still got to get off at the private island, still were able to do a lot of different things for, almost nothing out of pocket. Everything you could do without having to splurge too much. So if you are a budget friendly traveler, MSC is a great option.
So basically, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors. Again, we are nothing without our sponsors. We definitely appreciate LPT Realty. Again, look for this guy. Actually, this guy. Whatever. That guy. Jesse Hall, the realtor. Again, he's got you covered when it comes to finding a special spot here in Brevard. Please, if you are over by 528 and 520, check out Amara Salon and Spa as well. The Salon and Spa on the Boulevard, they'll get you right. So many things on the way to the cruise port. We have to thank our boy Steve at Flow Mason. That's right. So again, you can't see it. I'm wearing it right here, right now. That dope peer pressure portcast exclusive right there. You see that on the screen. Again, 3P. The 3P Nation, Vacation Nation. Just go on the website, go to flowmason.com, and Steve's got you covered from start to finish. Again, Flow Mason, Bro Mason, and again, we are not ourselves without being ourselves, and you'll see that right there. Thecruisecoach.com. Again, you want to book a cruise-tastic adventure anywhere in the world, and I'm gonna just say it's something you and I haven't talked about. I'm gonna go ahead and give myself a little label.
I was gonna give you a little plug, but
a little label, so I'll let you go ahead and talk about it, and then I want to end with something.
No, it's real quick, guys. Go to thecruisecoach.com. You're gonna find all of these input forms. You could request information regarding a cruise. You can browse cruises and so much more. Go to thecruisecoach.com today.
That's right.
And just put out, fill in the little form Rich has provided, and he'll get back to you, and he'll help you discover what it's going to look like for you to get to be able to say yes please to palm trees.
That's it. And so much about saying yes please to palm trees is about experiencing that Floridian cruise.
Mm-hmm.
What is a Floridian cruise, Jesse?
I'd imagine anywhere between Florida and the Caribbean.
Bingo. Obviously they talk so much about cuisine, the cuisine, the food, but I think it's that experience.
Right.
I think something that Peer Pressure Podcast, we want to major in, right? We don't want to minor in things. We want to do things best of the best.
Right.
You see this on the screen again. Can't forget our biggest sponsor, where we are right here, Space Coast Podcast, brand new stadium.
Yes, stadium.
This is a stadium. Yeah, a brand new studio right here on A1A.
Yeah.
Satellite Beach. It's just literally steps away from the beach.
Yeah, and I'm going to claim it as the closest professional podcast studio to Port Canaveral. So if you ever want to join us in the studio before your cruise and come hang out, other travel experts, vloggers, and so much more, reach out to us. It'd be great to have you guys in the studio and just share commentary and experiences, and even be able to produce something for you right here while you're visiting on the Space Coast. And because we do recommend doing that little bookend, hang out with us for a couple of days here on the Space Coast, go enjoy your cruise out of Port Canaveral, come back, and then hang out with us for a couple more days.
Exactly. And, we are not ourselves without the Space Coast Podcast Studio. And obviously, last but not least, probably most important, we are not ourselves without the good Lord above.
Right.
Again, also Light Company Apparel. We've got you covered with Christian apparel brand as well. You want a little bit of Christian streetwear, we've got you covered. Find us on Facebook, Instagram as well. And last but not least, I think it's time for me to go ahead and pray us out.
Let's bow our heads.
Dear Lord, we love you and we thank you. We thank you for every opportunity and every blessing, Lord. We thank you so much for allowing us to create a podcast for the world to see. We thank you so much for the light that you provide, Lord. We know right now so many people are suffering from this cold weather we have going on. Right now we are in a studio. We understand that. But right now the nation of America is suffering mentally, physically, emotionally, socially, Lord. We know that your light is brighter than anybody else. We pray for all those suffering from the cold that you'll go ahead and create warmth unlike any other. We pray for all those traveling that you'll go ahead and keep us safe as well. Lord, we just pray that you'll continue to guide this podcast with your light being the most important, shining opportunity for others to go ahead and have a relationship with you, Lord. We know that we love you. We know that we have a relationship with you, and we know it's just not on Sundays, it's every day of the week, Lord. We know that this is a Christian-inspired podcast, and we know that we walk in your light. We know that it is your light that is brighter than any others, and Lord, we know that we are simply just the lighthouse and the beacon for your light. We love you and we thank you. In your name we pray.
Amen.
Amen. And again, Vacation Nation, stay tuned. So much more about Ocean Cay, Grandiosa, and the Mediterranean Shipping Company Cruise Line.
All right. Till next time.
We love you. Shed light, shed light.
And he knows how to treat you right.